Yeah, boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the good old-fashioned HPAL. I have a few clips here, a few games that we played. This is around at 22, 25, or 22 to 2300 CR. Actually, some weird comps. Obviously, we're playing kind of late, so Qs are going to be pretty okay. Obviously, a lot of the times they can be really bad, but we ended up getting good. So here I'm running Ultimate Stack. Usually with the double DBS, I'll run Ultimate Stack every time. It's just really good, especially versus rogues. So here he ends up leaping out before they stun him. Really good play. And yeah, pretty much we're just going in there. I know he's gonna CC me, so I'm gonna pre-free to myself so I can run. My D is just coming back because obviously he's gonna get CC'd or I'm gonna get CC'd. He's probably gonna kidney me here into a trap. So let's see, does he yank the trap? Actually, I don't even think he has trap. So here I end up land handsing him. He darknesses. So, you know, a little bit of an overlap, but at the same time, it is what it is. Usually you would expect for him to get shadowy dueled, so the darkness is probably okay. And I have Sat coming back up in 24 seconds, so, you know, we're pretty much good as long, and I have Trinket, I have Bubble. So pretty much the next CC, I can either Trinket or Bubble if I need to. So here he kidney, so if I get CC'd again, I have to use. So even if it's a 2 second sap, I still have to use, otherwise he's going to die. He does have Nether, but again, I didn't want to Trinket and just get re-stunned. It would have been DR'd, and it would have been bad, so we just bubbled, save Trinket for the next stun DR, and we go from there. So here we're doing damage, just helping our teammate out. We're going to try to just freedom our teammate off CD and keep him just giving him enough uptime where he can stay in the battle. When you're playing with the DH, they need to be like playing just non-stop. They need to be playing super aggressive. So here I full stack, and this is on every CD. So at this point, game's pretty much over. I fake cast, get precog into a Searing Glare on his rapid fire, and the game is pretty much over. Again, just a complete and utter. I mean, they shouldn't really beat us in the first place because you have to play really good, but close match. So Hunter Druid, this is a really hard comp to beat in general. It's probably one of the best comps in twos. Rested Warrior, Rested Hunter, both should never lose to anything other than Rested and, you know, the meta comps. I'd say we're playing a really bad comp. HPL is really bad versus Druids, and specifically Druids. And since Druid is all the meta is, like, all we face is uh, Druids, and we faced a few Holy Priests. Otherwise, you don't really see anything else. I don't think we faced a single HPL, a single Rested Sham, really anything else. And that's just kind of how it is. So here I pre-sack the clone because obviously I know he's gonna clone me. So I sack him. He's gonna blur on top of it because obviously sack's not really as cooldown. It's more of like a cooldown to use like a wall, but it's not like a wall. So here I pre-sack, and I end up having to trinket anyway because it was delayed. So I had sack up, but for some reason I had to wait 2 seconds, and wouldn't break the trap. So I had to sit an entire trap even though I already had sack on my teammate. So kind of weird how that works, but okay. So here he's lining me a bit. So here I'm just going to keep up freedoms. I know he doesn't have kick, so he's not going to kick me. I have Hodge, so now I'm going to full Hodge. He's probably going to trinket. Yep, so we get trinket. He incaps to a DR trap. Again, I'm just going to keep my freedom. So here I tell my DH, yo, you're lining me, you're going to die. Because here he's going to die behind a pillar. So here, as you can see, he follows the druid and he's at 30%. He has bop on him, but at the same time, all it takes is one purge, which right there. So here he got purged, or he didn't actually get purged, but if he did get purged, it would have been really bad. So here I kick him. Thankfully the kick was kind of ranged. Here I go for a Searing Glare so he can't clone me. My guy swaps to the Hunter, pretty much gets Ironbark for free. I get trapped. My guy's not running reverse. Usually they run Steel Trap, so I had him not run, or I think he just didn't run it this time. So here, at this point, he can sit on the Druid. As a Druid or any healer, you have to just keep pillar humping, or you're just not going to survive any melees. So, like, your main thing is never leave the pillar for no reason at all. Literally hump the pillar, go around and round and round and round on the same pillar non-stop, root the DH, stun the DH, clone the DH. There's plenty of things that you can do that can stop him from doing anything he wants, and that's pretty much that. So here, the Druid's pretty much dead. He has no Ironbark. His rally cry is fitting the, or his BM is fitting the fall, and he's pretty much dead at this point. He actually ends up almost surviving because obviously Druid's broken, but we end up blurring offensively and we take him out. Obviously, a lot of these games are going to be cut halfway through because these games are insanely long, like full damp, because that's how Arena is right now. Is Like, it's not about outplay or anything. It's literally about, oh, okay, I wait until somebody's or nobody dies. So here, we're about, as you can see, we're already at like 50% damp already. So he wings. I'm not going to trinket because obviously I don't have it. I have Bob. That's pretty much the only thing I have left. I'm not going to be able to freedom, so I have my guy run reverse versus this, not only to get my Hodges, but to also get his roots. Here we get bubble here, I'm pretty sure. We'll see. So yeah, here we get bubble. I fake cast him really good. And we're probably even right now with cooldowns. We have darkness, so I'm like, okay, you can come dark me. I'm pretty sure we'll see if he comes to dark me here. It looks like he gets cycloned instead. We'll see though. It might be later on where he darks. We'll see. So here he doesn't dark. That's fine. We end up holding really good. Again, my main goal is to try to get drinks. Because as a healer, that's, it's all about the healer versus healer. It's either I get a drink or he gets a drink. Whoever gets the drink in this matchup at this point in time wins the entire game. And here I'm like, okay, I literally need to get the drink. Whether it's a tiny bit or not, I have to get a drink. So I'm like, yo, Dark, user blur. This is why we win this game right here. So here I'm like, okay, it's kind of a bad situation. He's cloned. I gotta trinket any type of CC, and we're gonna be in a bad spot. So here I sack him. The sack was somehow delayed, so that's great. So I sacked him off the clone, but I guess it was like delayed like 0.1 seconds, so it ate my sack. So, that's great. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Again, sack's not a CD, so who cares? Wings is on me. Very unlucky. I had to bubble because it's too high damp. There's no point of wasting all the mana I have left just on topping myself when I can literally just bubble and I'd be fine. Here we're gonna try to stop the drinking because obviously it's all about the drink. If he gets a full drink, we're gonna lose. A Rested Druid with full mana, you're not gonna have a chance. So at this point, we're high enough damp to where we just need to full throttle him off this magic bop, and we need to kill him because I'm gonna be dead any second. I have one bop left. I have land hands, but at this damp, land hands isn't gonna do anything. It's gonna do like 10% or 15%. Like it's not really a CD. So here we're in a bad spot. I'm gonna use my Daybreak. Again, we're just gonna bop because obviously he doesn't have a purge, and even through Ironbark, he's just gonna be dead here. He's not gonna be able to heal that damage, and on top of that, it's too high damp. It really just all came down to utility and who had the better utility at the end of the game, and we ended up taking him out. Arcane Holy Priest. This is a really easy comp to beat, mainly because Arcane is really bad right now. It's just like insanely bad. It just has no pressure. It literally has this like a little bit of burst, and then it's literally the weakest class in the entire game. It's kind of like Enhancement Shaman or Sub Rogue or like MM or really any other burst spec in the game. So again, twos wise, it all matters about the drinking. So we won this game and win all of our games because I drink. So me getting those drinks off and me being above mana is why we win the game. Now a lot of healers think that you can win before the time period of damp. It's not possible unless you win like the opener or something. All that comes into play here is it's healer versus healer. So it literally comes down to, okay, well, if I drink, I win. If he drinks, they win. So all that comes down to who has the more mana at the end of the game. If he goes first, we win. If I go first, they win. That's all this comes down to. So don't worry about winning games early. It's not gonna happen. Literally, all it is whoever healer first. So it's really just overall damage output. And as you can see, my DH is doing a lot more damage because he's a DH, and I'm gonna have to do a lot less healing. And then on top of that, they never stopped my drinks, so I was able to just get full drinks whenever I wanted, and the game was pretty much done at that point. So here he goes. He baits my Hodge with Fade. He actually didn't do that a single time any other time, so he ended up actually getting it that time. My guy has Trinket Blur, which is fine. He has Reverse for the mind games if he needs to. Nope, he doesn't. Okay, that's fine. Actually, he does. I think he did it on accident. I think he was out. Yeah, well, he probably didn't notice I was at a CD, but whatevs. Here I'm going in for the Hodge. Obviously, he swaps. I didn't even have Hodge, so he ended up pre-fading Air. That's a good thing about having a reset Hodge. They don't know. Here I'm probably going to bubble, or he's going to nether. We'll see what happens here. I might bubble the Fear. Yep, bubble the Fear. Okay, that's fine. He nethered, but it was a little bit too low, because obviously I don't want to be CC'd out that. I'm going to kick the Priest here. I need to top my teammate off. I have sack on him. I Trinket immediately, because we need to keep him up. Again, dampening is too high to where as an HPAL, I'm not able to keep this guy up. I need him at 80% or at least 70% or above almost the entire game. So here he gets a full sheep, which is really bad for us. He doesn't have a reverse, so here he's going to just line for a second while I'm CC'd. He's probably going to fear me off all this. He could have came around the corner and probably reversed me, but he can reverse himself with the mind games. I end up just dispelling it anyway, so it's fine. So again, the H Priest is pretty much and this is where we won the game. Priest is fully He's trying to drink right here with his racial. I instantly stop it, and that was the worst racial of his life because if he was behind a pillar, he actually would have got a drink. But instead, you know, I don't even go for the CC because I know the game's pretty much over. This guy's There's nothing they can do. And the same thing this game, all it comes down to is drinking. So in 2v2, if you're playing with healer, literally it's all about the drink game. You need to be going for drinks whenever your teammate has CDs or they're offensively doing their go. So if it's on Metamorphosis or, you know, a big CD, that's when you want to be going for those drinks. But mainly whenever your teammates have cooldowns, that way you're able to drink and they're able to just use your own stuff. And a lot of the times at this rating, even at 2200, they're not going to stop you. And that's just how that is. So here I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for a drink. Again, you need to try to go for the drinks. Obviously, you're not going to get them versus good players because this is not going to happen. But even a few ticks is really good. So here I still get about 4 ticks, which is about 7% mana, which is fine. That's about a few spells, which is okay. So here I dispel myself, freedom him. I'm going to full Hajj. For some reason, my Hajjes are half on everybody. I don't know if that's like a talent or what's going on. Maybe I'm just like baked out of my mind. But maybe I'm just DR hodging every time. I'll have to pay attention. But every person that I CC is like literally, they're CC'd for 3 seconds every single time I've ever CC'd. It's only versus Holy Priest that it happens. So let's see if it happens again. It could just be DR'd and I'm not paying attention, I ain't gonna lie. These games were late. Or actually, they're pretty early, but I think we were playing it for like 35 minutes. Maybe an hour actually, and these games were just horrific. So here, again, this is why we won the game. Actually, no, not this drink. So here I'm I'm going on the spot. He's almost If I don't get a drink, we're gonna lose the game. Thankfully, they just forget that I'm in the game and we get a full drink and we win the game immediately. So here I'm like, okay, oh, he has Trinket, he has Blur, all he needs to do is use. We end up getting like 20% mana off this. Again, I'm like, I'm just gonna go for a drink again. He has Blur up at 80%. I'm gonna drink. And that's what they didn't think I was going to do. So he ends up sheeping the DH while I get literally a full heal or a full mana and we win the game off this. So again, their priest is at 20. I'm already at 80% again. The game's pretty much over the moment he let me drink. I think he was trying to go for a drink himself, but, you know, it didn't work out too well for them. So the game's pretty much over at this time. As long as we don't die to air, it's over. That's pretty much all it comes down to. So here I'm Searing Glaring. He's trying to kick me here, so here I freedom him. He ended up reversing, which is kind of bad, but it's a whatever. Game's pretty much over regardless. Here I blind, so yeah, it's literally just 3 seconds CC for some reason. I don't, there's probably there's a reason for it, but I'm just too clueless right now. So here I Trinket the Fear, obviously. And the game's pretty much over again. He's most games, if not every game, it all comes down to mana or just using your CDs correctly. But that's pretty much all there is for the rest of the video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Obviously, I haven't been playing much Rogue, but in the future, we'll log back on him eventually. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.